wait! Like and subscribe to this video and use my code in the Fortnite item shop. Thanks. Now watch! Fortnite season tier list. If you like my opinions, awesome. If you don't, I like my opinions. You don't have to like my opinions, it's fine. Fortnite season 1, the one that started it all, and I think because of that, it's got to get an A tier. Just because it's the first time they've really done anything like this, you know? First time that they've done anything like this. They were Save the World beforehand, and now that they're not Save the World, they're going to Battle Royale, a practically untouched genre. It was a big change. Season 1 was kind of boring though, in terms of like what was actually in the game and compared to what we have now. But because it was that stepping stone, that's what makes it deserve. And what's coming next, this is where people are gonna not like me. Season 2, honestly, didn't change a whole lot. I mean, it maybe changed a little bit, it added a few more locations, but it wasn't much different. Besides that, the loot pool was pretty similar, and you got sweaty skins now, but real OG skins that not very many players actually have.
Another day, another victory for the OG, taking down the sweat. The imposters among us. You
got those, but it didn't add a whole lot, so that's why you get C tier. If you don't like that, fine with me. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. Season 3 gets B tier because it did add more, and it did start to kind of have... Fortnite was starting to really get larger at this time. This is when players like Ninja...
Imagine if Ninja got a low table fame. Imagine if Ninja got a low table fame.
Really picked it up. Players like Tfue and many other of those big streamer names that you recognize, they really started to pick it up and play it regularly at this point. And the game started to kind of get bigger and better, and Fortnite was like, oh, well, we can't just do the same thing over and over again now. We've got to make changes. And this is also the season that they introduced the first beginnings of huge map changes. This is when the meteor started to show up in the sky and people were really excited, myself included. This is also when I started to play because I saw online, I saw that you could build a sky base. And that was the first thing I did. I landed at Moisty Myers, I landed at the prison, and I collected all the brick and materials I could, and I built up to the sky. That was the very first thing I did in Fortnite. So they had the meteor in the sky, and that led into season 4, and it was so big for the game. It was so impactful on the game that it made season 4 be so much better, and you'll see how much better. So because of that, I think it actually has to go to A tier. I think so. Yeah, definitely. Just because of how, like, impactful it was. And then leading into season 4 from season 3, S tier. It created one of the greatest POIs to ever exist, and personally one of my favorites. We didn't get to see very much of this after season 4 because it got covered by trees. Fine, whatever. But fighting in here was awesome. It was so much fun. And season 4 added hop rocks, it added new weapons, we had the visitor show up. It was just huge, and it was fun. So it's the first season that really felt, to me, it really felt like Fortnite does now, you know?
Here comes the boy.
So to me, that's why it's S tier. Season 5, I'm going to put it above because I personally love Season 5. It's when I really started to like dive in head deep and play the game. It's with the season I got my first win in. It's the season that I first bought the Battle Pass, and because of that, I think it's S tier. Also, it added so many weapons that I love. And it had lots of different, it spiced the game up a little bit. Sure, it did remove hop rocks, sad, but it's fine. But it added rifts. So the rift was the first season, was in Fortnite season 5. That was the first season that they had rift. And it added, ATK was added in season 4, or season 5, sorry. Season 4, I believe, shopping carts, that might have been season 3. Season 5 added ATKs, and it added Lazy Links, and it added...
Your mom.
It added Paradise Palms, I believe, was in Season 5. Was it? Let me find out. It did. I thought it did. Added Paradise Palms in the whole. It added Paradise Palms in this entire desert biome down here. It added Lazy Links. The very first thing I did in any of these games was I went up here, if I can get there, right here. I landed here. There was ATKs and rifts, and I rifted into an ATK and I hit the ground and died. And let's talk about Lazy Links for a second. Lazy Links, awesome POI. It's a golf course. It's amazing. Rilla. It's just really good. This season, baller. It's S tier. Season 6 is A tier. Halloween season. Added Calamity. Added lots of cool Halloween skins. Had Fortnitemares for the first time. Huge season. So much fun to play. It was just fun. Oh, duh. Season 5 also brought Kevin the Cube.
You look a little, what's the word I'm looking for here? Stupid.
Which is why it's another S tier candidate and above Season 4, by the way. Season 6 then had the floating island, and it would go around to all the ruins that Kevin left, and then it floated around and exploded, and we got the event. One of the best events ever. Same with Season 5. Let's talk about events, because events are so much of what Fortnite is. I'll have to do an event tier list. I guess we also need to talk about the event in Season 4 that I never talked about. The rocket event. That's also part of what makes this an S tier season. That event was the first one they've ever done. Live event, the first one they've done, and they've since learned from that. So that's good. You can't really, it's harder to die in events. And in some, you couldn't die at all. So that's part of what made Season 4 an S tier. Season 5 event had lots of mini events. Season 5 had lots of those mini events because then you could watch the cube move around, and people would do live streams where they just followed the cube over and over and over again to see where it was going. And I remember sitting in the library at my college just waiting for the cube to fall into Loot Lake at the very end, and when it did, I was like, no way! And I was so excited to get back home to play it. Holy moly hot dog, look at that. They've got the, it's right, it added the, we'll have to look at this to remind myself. But it added the compact SMG, it unvaulted the guided missile, it brought the double barrel shotgun, and the heavy sniper rifle. That's why Season 5 was so good. Rift-to-goes as well, and shockwave grenades, which are so important today to lots of different players. And the grappler was in Season 5. It's huge. And the Porta Fortress, that was also in Season 5. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. So many of the different items that we use today came in Season 5, like the heavy sniper rifle, one of the best snipers in the entire game. Not so much anymore, but used to be. And the compact SMG, not the best, definitely not the best at all, but it's still iconic. Double barrel shotgun, again, outclassed by other ones, but it's still an iconic weapon. Did we get an event this season? No, it was just the cube sinking into Loot Lake, and then that was all. It was just, okay, Season 5 was just the cube falling into the lake. Had Season 6 has got to go in S tier then, because it had the first, it had one of the best, it had the, in my opinion, one of the best live events that has ever happened in Fortnite. Cube event where it exploded and the island exploded and we saw the butterfly. One of the best live events that they've ever done. Not the best, but one of the best. But that bumps it up to S tier, I think. It definitely does. Don't worry, there's a few D tier ones. Don't worry, there's a few D tiers in here for sure. After that, that event was so good, and Fortnitemares for the first time bumps that up to S tier. Season 7, I think, I'm gonna put it at the top of A. Do I have this? Of course, it added the entirety of the ice biome that I personally identify with the Chapter 1 map today. It added Frosty Flights. Right here, underneath the scoped thermal AR, it added Happy Hamlet, one of the best POIs in the entire history of Fortnite. Honestly, I wish that they would bring it back. Bring it back, Fortnite. Please bring it back, please. One of the best in the entire history of Fortnite. Of course, covered the whole bottom part in snow, covered Greasy Grove in snow. Huge. It was just a good map change. And it brought Polar Peak. It brought oh, that's right. Season 7 brought creative. I forgot. Season 7 was probably, oh, that might bump it up then. Season 7 brought what we now know in today as all of this. None of this exists without Season 7. It vaulted, oh, Shadow Stones from Season 6, another reason why that season was goated. But it brought the Infinity Blade, and then the next week, a week later, it vaulted the Infinity Blade.
It's nerf for nothing!
Then it brought the Christmas update, one of the best Christmas updates we've ever had in the entire history of the game. I kid you not, so amazing. Brought presents. It brought the boombox, the suppressed sniper, then a little later the scoped revolver. You could have gliders. Oh, redeploy. The balloons were new. Season stink bombs were new. The scoped AR was new for uncommon rarity. And then they did the ice storm event, which was not that big, but it was still pretty cool. They brought the chiller grenades this season. It brought bottle rockets. It brought the infantry, which I thought was season 8, and the drift board. All of those things came from season 7. After looking at that, definitely gonna bump it up to the bottom of S tier. That Christmas event was so goated, and it brought creative to the game, so that for that reason alone, it's got to go S tier. Season 8, before I look at anything, season 8 to me is definitely a top of A tier. From what I remember, it brought the whole jungle biome, it brought Lazy Lagoon, it brought Pirates theme, and they were all going for the treasure. It brought treasure maps. It was good. Let's just look at what it brought into the game, because that's what that'll help me remember. The pirate cannon, yep, all the pirate stuff. Buried treasure. Oh, the baller. Yep, the baller definitely puts it in as an A tier. The baller was huge and amazing. You could sit in the baller and win games. This was what dominated the World Cup. Flintlock, so good. Poison dart trap, and this brought consumables to the game: peppers, coconuts, and bananas, which we now see everywhere on the island today, but not peppers, but coconuts and bananas for sure. The boom bow was new. The boom bow was amazing. This brought the reboot system to Fortnite this season. I forgot about that too. I definitely still think that's not enough for S tier. Only not enough for S tier, but it is really, really good. Infantry brought epic and legendary. This had the end game LTM, which was really terrible. It was not very good. And it brought the shadow bombs, which were really very, very good. I think looking at all of that, plus the event this season was the event this season was the volcano exploding. That event was big because it was the unvaulting event was in season 8. The unvaulting event, yeah, they did, because right here's where it happened. Unvaulted the drum gun. Stupid, I know. Don't worry about it. It happens. We got the 0 point at Loot Lake. It opened up, which led to the unvaulting event, and then the volcano erupted. So it was a good event, but the fact the drum gun came back makes it's still not S tier. It's definitely A tier. Wait! Like and subscribe to this video, and use my code in the Fortnite item shop. Thanks. Now watch! Season 9. Oh, I think it's very close for me personally. It's very close. Season 9, I love season 9 of Fortnite. I think it's great. The fort bites that you could get. The event was the best event that they've ever done. Hands down, no cap. It was the best they've ever done. You can fight me on that, I don't care. Grenades, unvaulted. This brought the TAC AR, which was really good at the time. It's not so good anymore. This brought hot drops to the game. The burst SMG, which was good if you knew how to use it. If you didn't know how to use it and you just were picking it up for funsies, it's not very good. The storm flip, thumbs down, bad item. It brought the chug splash. That's a big item for sure. The drum shotgun, not very good, definitely outclassed in today's world, but it was okay at the time. It was really broken for a while. Then they curved it to all come. Then it brought the epic and legendary TAC shotgun, which was huge because I don't know why the TAC never had that. And it brought the storm scout. It's still a really good sniper. But that event, I think, the event is what carries season 9 as an top of A tier. Let me just show you the event. Mech versus monster, no commentary, here it is. No event has been like this since. Charge a punch, boom! It's actually a sword, baby. This event, top tier. If we're talking about the events itself, this event is top of S tier. But the season alone is just A tier. Season X, D tier. And I'll give you one picture. I don't even care about what Season X had in it, although I do love the Pandora stuff and all that they did. But I'll give you one picture why this season sucked. let's go on. Chapter 2, Season 1 is definitely an S tier season, even though it lasted far too long. It brought the entire new map. It brought the revamped loot pool where we had a weapon of each rarity. Even rocket launchers had gray, uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary variant. It brought the whole new map, restart of Fortnite. At the end event, no, I can't. This season's the worst season in all of Fortnite, and I stand by that. So it's got to go D tier. But Chapter 2 Season 1, very, 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 very good. And it was followed by one of the best seasons in all of Fortnite. Chapter 2 Season 2, which brought the correct way to do mythics from this season. They were pretty much just normal weapons that you could get from killing bosses, but they were just a stronger variant of that weapon. For example, Sky had a Scar that could shoot faster and did just a little bit more damage. It was very good. Plus, it brought the agency, it brought the grotto, it brought the rig, it brought the shark, it brought the yacht, it had brought Deadpool to the game. Huge. It was a very good season. Chapter 2, honestly, has some of the best seasons in all of Fortnite, because they just got better for me personally. I love Chapter 2 Season 3. The fact that the whole island got flooded after the event from this season, the storm event, that makes this such a big season for me. And it was so much fun to play in. You could find llamas under the water. They were still there all season long. They were just deep underwater. It was amazing. I love this season. I wish I could go back and play this season over and over again today, but I can't. Chapter 2 Remix is coming, but it's not going to be the same. Chapter 2 Season 4, me, not as good.
Bye, baby, bye!
Still very good. Definitely, for me, it's also better than this one, because this season brought probably one of the second best events that they've done. Probably the second, one of the second. I don't know exactly. I'll have to do an event tier list, because I don't know exactly. There's a lot of S tier seasons in Fortnite, though. Don't worry. We're getting to the ones that are down lower. I promise. It brought the Galactus event, all the Tony Stark's Iron Man and stuff. Very good season. Goated event, goated items. The whole season was built up trying to fight against Galactus. Chapter 2, Season 5, for me is a C tier. This season was pretty terrible. I'm not gonna lie. It left the 0 point exposed. So it brought the whole gold trading system into the game, the Anban sniper rifle, the Mandalorian jetpack, the Dragon's Breath shotgun, the 0 point fish, the Rift fish, which they've gotten rid of the cool variants of fish. I wish they'd bring them back. It makes me so mad. The Boom sniper rifle, the Nighthawk, the Shadow Tracker, the Storm Scout, the Dub, all the exotic weapons that are now no longer in the game. It brought back the Charge. It vaulted the most things I've ever seen. It vaulted a ton of stuff. Oh, it brought the lever action shotgun and hop rock dualies. The Predator's cloak, which was horrendously terrible. It was so bad. The burst quad launcher was also pretty bad. It did bring the chug cannon, which is good, but not as good as it could have been. And they were just doing collaboration after collaboration. It felt like they were just ignoring the game, which is one of the problems I have with Fortnite today. It felt like they were ignoring the game. Chapter 2 Season 6, for me, I really like this season. I love the crafting. I love the Spire. For me, I love the crafting. I love the whole primal aspect. It brought the raptors to the game. It brought cool side grading and stuff like that. I loved it. Didn't like it. Fair. Fine. Whatever. I liked it a lot.
Oh, look! An idiot! Let's fight and laugh!
Chapter 2 Season 7, I think it's an A tier. And I think it's above these two. I'm going to put it a little higher. It's very good. Definitely better than this one. This one had the cool alien spaceships. It brought the alien ship. You could go onto the ship and get loot from the alien spaceships, which was amazing and so cool. It renamed a lot of the locations to be alien themed. Sweaty Sands became Believer Beach. Believe in the aliens. Things like that. Very, very cool. It brought the cow, the bouncy cow item. I don't remember what it was called. It brought the bouncy cow item. It brought alien tech. It gave us the Zerg skin, which was very cool. It made the center of the map be like an alien-y theme. Get loot in like a mini game sort of style. I remember doing that as much as possible. It was so much freaking fun. I wish they would bring something like this back to the game today. Then the event was awesome. The event was so cool. where the idea is you ride these buildings up that the aliens are taking from Corny Complex. You ride them up into the spaceship because that's how you're gonna thwart the aliens. But then Sloan turns around and is like, "No, you didn't think you were coming back, did you?" He leaves you there, and then you fall out of the ship after it explodes, and then the island gets covered in Kevins, which you find out that the aliens are the one that brought Kevin in the first place. Such a cool event concepts, the origins of Kevin the Cube. Season 8, the aftermath of that, I believe that's actually what it was called, was Aftermath. B tier for me. It was good. It brought one of the coolest Halloween events that they've done with the giant cube monsters that you could fight for loot, things like that. Very, very cool season, in my opinion. It brought Carnage and Venom mythics. It had the cubes that you could launch yourself across the map in. I believe this was also the season that brought Sparkle Main. And I remember theorizing with some people that I played with at the time that since we had Sparkle Main and it was like all a dream because we got hit, we fell out of the ship. This season's a dream season. Oh no, it's a nightmare sort of deal. It was very cool though, and it led up to it had the gold cube, it had the blue cube, all of these were moving around from location to location, leaving mini cubes and sucking up power from different places. And it led to the start of Chapter 3 and the Flip event, which was one of the coolest events they've done in the past as well, leading us into Chapter 3, but it's still not A tier. Chapter 3 Season 1 is an A tier. It's definitely not as good, and it's because some of the items were very broken, and Spider-Man Mythics took a long time to come out. But it brought a whole new map, a whole new way to play the game, new location, new items, very fun to play. This brought sliding to the game. And tents were very cool as well. Brought Colombo, and then they killed him off and never brought him back. Why? It was okay. It brought cool events and things like that, but nothing crazy. This season brought Zero Build. I didn't really like it all too much. It was a war season. It was fun, but it wasn't crazy. It was good, but it wasn't insane. If I'm wrong about that, or you think that something was different, tell me below. I don't think it was all that interesting. It brought Zero Build, and they made me play Zero Build for like weeks, and I hated that. I hate Zero Build. Vibin is definitely A tier below the Alien season, above Chapter 3 Season 1. Vibin was fun. It brought the reality tree, the reality saplings. It brought the rave cave, one of my favorite POIs in all of Fortnite. It was a very good season, very creative. It led to a good event at the end. All in all, definitely an A tier season. Then the Chrome event, B tier for sure. Above Chapter 2 Season 6. Still fun. Playing in the Chrome was amazing. And then it led to the start of the Chapter 4 event, which that event sucked. You know what? Because that event sucked balls. Definitely below. It goes in C tier. That event was so terrible. It was like 40-minute long thing just to get nothing. Chapter 4 Season 1, pretty good. Nothing crazy. New map. Not that interesting. Came off the heels of a terrible event, so it was kind of low tier anyway. Chapter 4 Season 1, this brought Mega City, so it's pretty good. Mega City was awesome. Kenjutsu Crossing, that whole area of the map, the Kinetic Blade, things like that. That's what made this season pretty good. Season's dog, dude, it's so bad. So bad. Same with the one after that. These two seasons were just not very fun to play compared to what they used to be. Heisted season brought heisted weapons, which was okay, I guess. And then this season, which is so unforgettable, it's so forgettable that I don't even remember exactly what happened in it. I know it brought vines and stuff, but it didn't have an event other than this season. Nothing really, no real event. Season OG is peak. Honestly, going back to the Chapter 1 map after 5 years or so was huge and phenomenal, and I loved every second of this season. I wish I could play it more. I really do. I played it all the way to the very end. To the last game you could play, I played it. Chapter 5 Season 1. Not very memorable. It was okay. The new season came off the heels of one of the biggest things they've ever done in Fortnite. The start of the next season that was pretty good, all in all. Honestly, I would put it definitely above Chapter 4 launch. This season was good. It brought the wings of Icarus. It brought some weapons, fun items to use. Good season. It wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible. Not anything to write home about, but it wasn't bad. Then we get to our next D tier. Better than Season X. But these are the only 2 seasons of Fortnite I just couldn't bring myself to play. Only 2 I just couldn't bring myself to play all that much. Season 3, Chapter 5 is potentially one of the worst seasons of Fortnite that they've ever done in the history of the game. The cars and car mods were so annoying. Hated this season. It was so bad. Had a scream sound effect. It was so bad. And then this current season is good. Definitely Fortnitemare's carry, though. Definitely a Fortnitemare's carry. I put it here. It's not the greatest, though. There's just something about this season and this chapter that's just pretty bad. So, that's my tier list. If you disagree with me, I don't care. Thanks. Bye.